Have you ever heard that whole analogy about the frog in the boiling water?
Oh, yeah. If you drop a frog in boiling water, it jumps out. But if you heat it up slowly, it just sits there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit grim, but I get where you're going with this.
Well, think about your streaming subscriptions for a second.
Oh, right.
You sign up years ago and it's what, $4.99 a month?
Yeah, it felt like absolute pocket change back then.
Right. But then it slowly creeps up, a dollar here, a new premium tier there,
hmm
and suddenly you're looking at this massive monthly charge on your credit card and you realize you are just sitting right there in the boiling water.
That is perfectly said. It really is the aggressive monetization of our convenience.
Exactly. And that exhaustion is what the industry is banking on. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at the rapidly shifting and honestly increasingly expensive landscape of streaming services.
Yeah, it's getting wild out there.
It really is. And the big breaking news this week, it's March 2026, is Netflix implementing these broad, sweeping price increases across all their U.S. plans.
Huge news.
So we've gathered a massive stack of sources to help you navigate this. We've got breaking financial reports from Big O Finance and Quasinform.
We also have some really great tech analysis and workaround guides from PC Mag.
Right, and international pricing data from Comet VPN, plus discount strategies from Evoca TV and Gamsgo.
We've got it all covered.
We do. The mission today is to extract the actual truth about why our streaming bills are skyrocketing, unpack the technical and financial workarounds that still exist, and really just help you figure out how to optimize your entertainment budget without losing your mind.
Which is definitely easier said than done.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let's unpack this because the sticker shock from this week's news is, it's severe.
It really is. The numbers we're seeing mark a definitive end to the whole era of cheap streaming.
Right. So let's look at the hard facts of this March 26th hike from Netflix.
Go for it.
Their premium plan, the one that offers 4K streaming and spatial audio, is now $26.99 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, it is nearing the $30 mark for a single app. And honestly, if you have a modern TV, 4K is basically the standard now.
Right, you kind of need that tier to get what your TV is built for.
Exactly. Now, if you step down to the standard ad-free plan, that's $19.99. And even the supposedly cheap option, the standard with ads, is bumped up to $8.99.
And we have to talk about the add-on costs too.
Oh, right, the extra member stuff.
Yeah, because Netflix has aggressively enforced this policy now.
Mhm.
If you want to add an extra member who lives outside your household, that's going to cost you another $7.99 a month if they're on the ad-supported tier.
And if they want ad-free?
$9.99.
That is just wild.
It completely transforms the math for families.
Right, like a family premium plan with a kid away at college is suddenly costing what, like $40 a month? Over $40?
Easily. But, it's not just Netflix.
No, it's an industry trend. Looking at the PC Mag data, Amazon Prime Video is bumping up the cost just to remove ads to $4.99 on April 10th, 2026.
Yeah, we saw Apple TV Plus hike their prices recently, too.
Disney Plus, Hulu, Peacock, they've all had massive increases over the last couple of years.
They're all running the exact same playbook right now.
But I want to push back on something here.
Okay.
I was reading Netflix's official statement from McRumors about these specific hikes. And they claim they're raising prices to, quote, reinvest in quality entertainment.
Ah, right, the classic PR line.
Right. But
Right.
I have to ask, is the content actually getting exponentially better?
That's the real question.
Like, are we just paying for the platform's survival at this point? A $27 bill doesn't magically make a script 30% better.
Well, to understand if the content is actually getting better, we have to look at what exactly these companies are buying with your extra $20 a month.
Okay, let's get into it.
Which brings us to the new economics of streaming. The financial picture from Big O Finance is incredibly revealing.
How so?
The whole era of offering low-price streaming just to build market share, that's completely dead.
Right, because for years it was all about just getting as many subscribers as possible, right?
Exactly. Wall Street loved subscriber growth, but the North American market is basically saturated now.
Everyone who wants Netflix already has Netflix.
Right. So investors are demanding profitability, and this current price hike is projected to boost Netflix's average revenue per user, or ARPU, in the US and Canada by 6% in 2026 alone.
6% from just a couple of dollars a month.
Yeah, and that pushes their total revenue forecast past $50 billion.
$50 billion, that is staggering.
It is. And as where that money is going, the cost of production is just soaring.
Because everyone is competing for the same directors and actors.
Partially, yes. But Netflix is also aggressively expanding into live sports and exclusive video podcasts.
Oh, right, because sports keep you logged in.
Exactly. They want to keep you in their ecosystem so you don't cancel between seasons of your favorite show.
But wait, speaking of wild corporate spending, we have to talk about the Warner Brothers drama.
Oh, the corporate soap opera. Yes.
Our sources from Cause and Form had this fascinating breakdown. So Netflix was actually bidding to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery.
Which would have been massive.
Completely game-changing. But then they just walked away.
They did.
And that allowed Paramount Skydance to swoop in and swallow Warner Brothers in a huge $110 billion hostile takeover.
Right. And what's fascinating here is the mechanics of how that played out for Netflix.
The breakup fee. You have to explain this because it blew my mind.
Sure. So Netflix actually walked away from that Warner Brothers deal with a $2.8 billion breakup fee.
Wait. Let me just frame this for you, the listener.
Go ahead.
Netflix just pocketed $2.8 billion in pure cash a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Their stock soared 30% on the news of this failed merger. And they still decided to turn around and raise your subscription price $1 or $2 a month.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, they didn't even make anything for that $2 billion. They just walked away from a table.
It's pure corporate pricing power.
Yeah.
They can do it, so they do.
Well, since the platforms are aggressively squeezing the users for every last dime, I think it's only natural that users are looking for technical loopholes to squeeze back.
Oh, absolutely. The pushback is real.
So let's talk about the great password crackdown and how people are getting around it. PC Mag had a great guide on this.
Right, because you have to understand how they define a household first.
How does it actually work? Because it's not just based on the credit card billing address, right?
No, not at all. Netflix defines a household by the main TV and the devices connected to that specific internet connection.
Okay.
They use IP addresses and device IDs to track everything, so they know if a phone is usually on that home Wi-Fi or not.
Right. But people are so clever. The workarounds I've seen are just hilarious.
You get pretty technical.
Well, the easiest one is the vacation code.
Right. Requesting a temporary access code if you're supposedly traveling.
Yeah. Netflix sends a code to the account owner, and if they text it to you fast enough, you're in.
But that requires you to constantly bother the account owner.
Exactly. Which is why people invented the Gmail filter trick.
This one is incredibly clever.
It's genius. Basically, you log into the account holder's Gmail and set up an auto-forwarding rule. You tell Gmail to look for emails from info@account.netflix.com, specifically with the subject line, your Netflix temporary access code.
Right.
And the second that email comes in, Gmail instantly forwards it to the friend who's trying to watch.
It completely automates the loophole.
It's like building this elaborate digital speakeasy. You know, you've got a secret knock, an automated bouncer, and a back door, all just to watch the new season of Bridgerton.
It really is. But for people who want a more permanent fix, there's the NordVPN MeshNet method.
Oh, right, because standard VPNs don't work for this, do they?
No, Netflix blocks standard VPN data centers. But MeshNet is different.
How so?
It allows you to route your remote device's traffic directly through the main account holder's actual home network.
So it tricks Netflix into thinking you're physically sitting in their living room.
Exactly. Your IP address matches the household.
That is wild. And if you don't want to mess with routing, PC Mag also mentioned the commuter method.
Right, the low-tech option.
Yeah, you literally just take your phone or tablet, physically drive it to the account holder's house, log onto their Wi-Fi, open the app, and then drive back home.
Which is funny, but this raises an important question.
What's that?
How sustainable are these technical hacks for the average listener?
I mean, it sounds exhausting.
It is. Not everyone wants to play IT administrator for their extended family.
Yeah, fixing auto-forwarding rules when they break or maintaining a MeshNet connection, it's a lot of work.
Right. So if you don't want to use VPN routing or do physical Wi-Fi visits, what are the legitimate financial loopholes to actually lower the bill?
Okay, let's get into the money-saving strategies because the global price gap is mind-blowing.
The Comet VPN data is fascinating here.
It really is. So streaming pricing is based on a country's local purchasing power.
Right. They charge what the local market can bear.
Exactly. So while a standard plan costs $18.90 in Liechtenstein,
Which is pretty close to the U.S. price.
yeah, but that exact same plan costs just $1.61 in Pakistan
Wow.
and $1.98 in Egypt.
It's a massive disparity.
So the immediate thought is, hey, let me just use a VPN and buy a Pakistani subscription.
Right, but our sources strongly warn against that.
Why? Just because it violates the terms of service?
Partially, but it carries a really high risk of immediate account suspension. And the payment gateways are smart. They usually require a local credit card anyway.
Oh, so your U.S. credit card gets blocked.
Exactly. But there is an alternative. The sources point to platforms like Gamsgo.
What is Gamsgo?
It's basically a subscription sharing marketplace. Vetted sellers offer access to individual profiles on their premium international accounts. And it only costs around $2.49 a month.
Wow, so you're just renting a profile from someone else.
Basically, yeah. It abstracts the VPN risk away from you.
But if you want to keep everything totally above board and simple, we have to talk about carrier bundles.
Yes, this is where most people can actually save money without any tech hacks.
Right. You really need to look at what you already pay for.
Exactly. Look at your internet provider or your cell phone company.
Like Xfinity. Their StreamSaver bundle offers Netflix with ads, Peacock Premium, and Apple TV Plus, all for $15 a month.
Which is a huge discount compared to buying them all separately.
Totally. And Verizon offers a perk with Netflix and Max again, both with ads for just $10 a month.
T-Mobile even gives the Netflix ad tier away for absolutely free on certain Go5G plans.
It's crazy how much they subsidize it just to keep you as a cellular customer.
They really don't want you switching phone carriers.
But speaking of discounts, I have to point out this really painful fact from Avoca TV regarding students.
Oh, the student dilemma.
Yeah. Netflix explicitly does not offer a student discount.
Which is incredibly rare in the tech and media world.
Right. So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, you have to ask yourself if loyalty is actually hurting your wallet.
Exactly. Why stick with the most expensive option when rivals are practically giving their content away to students?
Right. Hulu is $1.99 a month for students.
Peacock is $2.99.
And Amazon Prime gives a straight 50% discount.
It's just wild to me that Netflix refuses to play that game.
Well, it connects back to the broader picture. We are really entering an era where you have to actively manage your subscriptions.
Like a financial portfolio.
Exactly. You rotate them month to month based on what you actually want to watch.
Right, like sign up for Netflix in April, binge your shows, cancel it, and then switch to Hulu for May.
Okay. It's the only way to keep the budget under control.
Okay, let's recap the main takeaways for everyone listening.
Sounds good.
Basically, Netflix and other streamers are raising prices because the era of cheap growth is over. They need to fund massive content acquisitions and appease Wall Street investors.
Right. They need that profitability.
And while technical workarounds like meshnet routing and automated email filters definitely exist.
And they are very clever.
They are. But the safest and honestly easiest ways to save money are through those carrier bundles, settling for the ad-supported tiers, or just actively rotating your services based on current discounts.
Yeah, that rotation strategy is key. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, there's a really fascinating irony to ponder here.
Okay, what's that?
Well, think about why we originally cheered for streaming.
Oh, because it allowed us to cut the cord.
Exactly. We were escaping those bloated, expensive cable TV packages.
Right. We hated paying for 50 channels we didn't watch.
But look at where we are now in 2026.
Yeah.
We have forced ad tiers.
Mm-hmm.
They're cracking down on sharing with your family. Right.
We have Apple and NBC Universal quietly bundling their services together.
Wow.
And we have Comcast literally offering bundle packages of networks for one monthly fee.
Oh my gosh.
You're right.
Did we actually escape cable TV? Or did the tech companies just secretly rebuild it, slap a sleek new app interface on it, and figure out a way to charge us even more?
That is, wow, the ultimate corporate magic trick. We just walked right back into the exact same system we fought so hard to escape.
It really did.
Well, that is definitely something to think about the next time you turn on your smart TV. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Take a hard look at your credit card statements this month, and we'll catch you next time.